What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kinda Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Christmas in March, Joey Noel.
Ooh, I get the first one. That's fun.
Well, usually I go to Nick.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So you get the Nick seat, you get the Nick touch.
Got it.
Can you be like Nick?
No.
Give me your Nick impressions right now. Give me some Nick impressions.
I cannot.
Just say Mrs. T and you're all set. You know what I mean?
hate that. I hate that.
There's nothing I love more than the fictional relationship Nick has with your mom. Like, he's just Fonz. He lives above the garage. She comes down and gets some OJ.
I know. Every time I go to my parents' house, I do live in fear that there's going to be a new picture of Nick somewhere in my parents' house.
So good.
So
Yeah.
we'll have to see what happens next time.
Joey, as you know, you do fantastic work at Kinda Funny.
Thank you.
And I love working with you, and it's fantastic. I can't tell you how proud I am that you're playing Monster Hunter now.
I'm now level 28. Thank you very much.
She's going to beat you, Tim. She's going to pass you in
I'm
Pokemon Go.
so freaking close, man.
To what?
To
50.
Getting to 50.
Oh,
in
you're
Pokemon
playing too?
Go.
Pokemon Go.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Tim gets
Oh.
mad because it's way easier to level in our
Okay,
game
so
than his
I was
game.
like,
and
oh
then
yeah, I'm going to get to 50
we have
in
more
no time.
exciting gameplay than Tim has in his as well.
That's a whole thing.
Even
I
though
can-
for me, the big thing is I wish I had the location-based stuff like you do.
Yeah.
We don't have...
I want the spinny thing.
You have the bone piles you hit on and it'll be like, oh, you're at, whatever, the coffee shop. But there's no like sending that to somebody or having like, I like the idea of the Pokestop and the, hey, here's what I did.
Yeah.
But it gives me a monster bone.
Yeah.
And bless, I need the monster bones.
I love a monster bone.
You love a good
Oh,
monster
man.
bone. Of course, that's for Forbes 30 under 30, a.k.a. New York Game Awards nominated, a.k.a. Seattle Poppy, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Tim, have you always sat cross-legged, or was there a threshold? Because I've started noticing it recently.
I mean, yeah, I'm a man of comfort. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
He
So I
often
wouldn't say
does it.
I would
Often
say
does.
Yeah.
often. I wouldn't say always.
Yeah, because I remember, it was the not It Takes Two, the Split Fiction Let's Play, where
Yeah.
I saw a clip and I was like, oh, he's sitting all cross-legged. And
Yeah.
I started thinking about
That's a
it.
choice.
I was like, oh, I guess maybe he does that, and I just never noticed it.
Yeah, I do. I
love that for you.
It's funny
guess it'd
because
be-
when the Split Fiction full play that Greg and I did, that's live now, everyone can watch. When it was first
YouTube.com/GameOverReview. Please go watch
premiering, it was on in the TVs in the studio. When I came back from lunch, I looked at it, and for 10 seconds, I was like, who is that? Because I had the thought of normally during the streaming time, someone's in the lab streaming.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around the room and I'm like, okay, Greg's there, Nick's there, Andy's there. I'm like, what's going on? I see Greg in the video and it was next to some guy wearing a hoodie. And I was like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, oh my God, it's me. I didn't even recognize myself. No bomber jacket. Who the fuck's that guy?
Yeah.
We
You know?
were in a different space there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm pretty sure. I mean, I haven't gone through and watched the 14 hours of Split Fiction, but I'm pretty sure there's a moment where I scratched my crotch. Like we were so in the moment trying to figure out. And I remember it being that I'm like, well, hopefully the camera didn't catch that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're really letting the guard down as we play this game and hang out. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
That is
gosh.
very funny.
Of course, he's Forbes 30 under 30, aka the second best baby blues in San Francisco, aka the married one at Tim Geddes.
I'm at a very interesting place with my Pokemon Go addiction. It's what I'm going to call it because it is what it is. And I've been telling y'all forever, I'm about to hit 49, which means I'm about to hit 50. Whole bunch of dumb challenges in the way. One of the challenges I'm at right now is the most annoying thing ever. You essentially need to trade with somebody a bazillion times. And you're limited. You have to be with them in person. There's all this different stuff. So I've hit a wall months ago that I should be so much further than I am. But until I do this challenge, I can't move on. And so it's hard because it's easiest to do with Goldfarb. He's the only person that has the patience for me. He'll go sit with me and we go back and forth. But Goldfarb, busy man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Out there making ghosts of Yote, okay? So I'm just like, I can't be asking him for all that time, all the time. And I've been complaining, talking about this. And eventually Gia's just like, I'm gonna get it on my phone. I'm gonna just go out and catch
Oh,
whatever
how
the
long
fuck
did
you need,
this last?
and then we'll just
This
let you just
cannot
get
have
your back
lasted
and forth.
long.
This
Yeah.
entire weekend was just her out there catching them just so that she could trade with me. And it started
love. That's
it's
true
fucking
love.
And it started from the place of just like, I don't want to do this, to her being like, wait, I woke up this morning, she's like, I caught you 3 more Growlithe. And I'm like, I love that for you. I was like, you don't need to go this hard. She's like, no, you said that they come every 15 minutes. I can just keep getting them. I'm like, you could just walk outside or you could just not do this, you know? Once you get that little, the goopy gamer brain
Oh, yeah.
unlocked in Gia,
Oh, yeah.
she just can't stop. She's a monster. So I appreciate it. I love it. And we'll get there
Getting
one
there.
day. We'll get there one day.
He'll get there. And you
Yeah.
get the bomber jacket, right? You already bought the jacket, is that right?
I own
It's
the
just-
jacket, but I can't wear the jacket until my
50.
character in game can wear the jacket when I hit level.
Are we doing
50.
a big coronation
I
ceremony?
want to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
How
I
long
want to
have
do
you
it
had
at
the jacket?
about a year.
Okay.
Yeah. It's crazy because the first 40 levels in Pokemon Go, there's 50 total. First 40 levels, you can get done with those in a weekend. Like you get so much experience, and I'm pretty sure to get from level 40 to 41 is as much experience as 1 to 40. It's a whole damn thing, and then it just gets more and more and more and crazy. So we out there grinding, man, doing God's work.
We are out there grinding, and we're also here grinding out awesome episodes of content for you. If you didn't know, we're an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. If you're watching right now, of course, you already got Kinda Funny Games Daily, and it was a live reaction to The Last of Us Season 2 trailer. After that, we did the Kinda Funny Games Cast, which was a live reaction and breakdown of the Death Stranding 2 trailer. Now, of course, you're here for the Kinda Funny podcast, but after this, it'll be the continuation of Nick's Pokemon Nuzlocke adventure.
Have you guys heard about any of these adventures from Friday?
I heard some of them today on Gamescast where Andy was giving us a few recaps. What's speaking to you?
No, they're just.
Is it the Twix?
So it's always the
Twix?
Twix. It's always the
Kevin,
Twix.
I want to apologize to you. All right. I was no part of it, of course, but I heard that Snowbike Mike ate your Twix, that Joey specifically came in and gave each one of you a pack of Twix, and then Mike ate yours. And I know as a Twix man how much that would hurt Kevin.
It was just like, what was he thinking? I wouldn't care. I wouldn't.
And you're the guy
notice.
who care the most.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was so mad.
I understand, Kev. I'm sorry about that. I mean, was it just a plain Twix or was it like a cookie and cream?
No,
No, it was a
I
plain
got
Twix,
the,
which is the best
OG.
Twix.
I didn't want everybody like fighting over.
No,
who got
I
what
appreciate
Twix.
that. No, you know, I'm pro Twix no matter what. Don't worry about that. They call me Pro Twix.
They do.
I'm excited. This is my first live Kinda Funny podcast with the new format. Of course, if you aren't familiar, this is only week 2, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, where we're doing Kinda Funny podcast as part of the normal programming thing. We moved it out from being a 3 o'clock only on Patreon thing to being part of the normal thing. So you get Kinda Funny podcast and in review and screencast when it happens as your daily programming stuff. So you can put on our Twitch or our YouTube and just hang out with us the entire day. And if you love what we do, you should probably pick up a Kinda Funny membership. Of course, a Kinda Funny membership gets you each and every one of our shows. That's more than 20 a week, ad-free, and it gets your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series I call Greg Way. It's a video, it's a podcast, it's usually 15 to 20 minutes long of me talking to you about whatever it is you or I want to talk about.
What are you talking about today, Greg?
I still need to record it. So what happened is that I did the last, I brought Jen's car in last week for an oil change. And that meant I
What a great husband.
Thank you. I grabbed my phone mount and the microphone and put it in there. And then, of course, left it in there. And yesterday we were out and about, and I was like, Jen, do not let me forget. And, of course, we both forgot all about it. So I got in the car today, super late, super behind schedule. And we have a very simple rule, Blessing, all right? Ben, there's words we say at home that you can say at home if you want, but you can't say at school. And I got in, shut the door, looked on, fuck! And Ben's like, what? Ben's like, what, Daddy? And I'm like, the mount, Ben, and I don't have the microphone. It's up in your mom's car. We'll go get it. I'm like, well, we're late, Ben. You know what I mean? All this stuff happened this morning. We got to get you to school. And he's like, well, just get it afterwards, Daddy. And I'm like, I can't afterwards because I got to build the show too. Like, there's all this stuff happening.
I like that he's thinking about it, though.
Oh, Ben
You
knows.
got this,
Yeah.
dude.
Ben's trying to calm me down, but I refuse.
Yeah,
I refuse
get
to be.
that too.
I refuse
like,
to be
ain't that a
tamed.
bitch? Fuck that.
He does. See, my favorite is that he's big on hell yeah, brother. Because I say hell yeah, brother a lot. And so he'll say, Ben, you want to do X, Y, and Z? Hell yeah, brother.
Awesome.
And he said it at school. And as soon as you're like, no, they don't mind. They're cool. They're chill. It's like, what did you say? And he's like, he says hell yeah, brother. Oh, yeah, that's his yes. He says
I'm definitely a pro hell type of guy.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked
In
about
all
this
senses
a
of the
million
word.
times. Yeah, but it's like back in the day, it's like being a little kid. We all said hella in the Bay Area. Like hella was like our most frequently used word.
Did you ever say hecka?
Well, that's the thing. All the teachers like, you can't say that. You have to say hecka. And like, we all had to fucking say hecka. And then behind everyone's back, of course, we're saying hella and talking shit. But like, that's how big of a problem this was, Bless, is that they had to come up with an alternative word for us to use.
School-friendly term.
I was a hecka person.
Yeah.
It was because Kanye had a song where he like said something like he's hella hating out, and I quoted that song, and then they were like, they said hecky, say hecky instead of hella, and I started using that, and then
Here we are
Hecky
now.
is
For me,
crazy.
I saw it was one of those. I was on Instagram, but it was somebody screenshotting a tweet or a blue sky or whatever, and it was like it resonated so much with me. Where they were like, "Do you 90s kids?" Granted, I'm 83, but I'm in school in 90s. You know what I mean? Like junior high, grade school. Do you remember when you'd say hey and they'd say hey's for horses, and so then we all just committed to saying hey, and it's like that is so like every email of mine starts hey dash dash, and it's because in grade school I was like fuck you, you don't get to change me on this. I'm not gonna say hello. That sounds stupid.
No.
Yeah.
And the fact that I committed that
formal.
hard to it, and I kind of forgot about it, that's why I say hey.
God.
Interesting.
Remember when teachers would say do it? And it was the funniest
my
thing in
God.
the world.
don't get me
Do it?
started.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh, dude. 3rd grade. Teacher says do it. We're all like, she's talking
Yeah, you
about
said
sex.
Of
Oh.
course.
Because do it means sex.
She wasn't using that context though, right?
No.
Like,
God,
I'm gonna
no.
go home tonight and do it.
No. It's just like do your homework. Do it.
Teacher
Bro.
should be having bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That brings me back. God damn. Tim just unlocked so many memories in my brain. I remember that happening and a teacher being like, "What's so funny?" And the class kind of like got silent
Being
because
like,
we were like, "Oh
We're like,
shit,
uh-oh, who's
she
going
caught
to be the
us."
one to explain this?
Yeah.
That we think you're talking about.
While we're here
sex.
just talking about stupid ass teachers, I won't name names, right? But I had a high school teacher that was so unhinged that one time I was sitting in class like this, and I smiled at one of my friends, and she cued in on me like, "What's the hand signal mean?"
Oh
This.
God.
And I was like, "What?" And she like, I was like completely lost at what she was talking about or whatever. And then I, of course, am me. So she keeps escalating, getting all mad. And I went, "Calm down." And she goes,
no.
"Did you tell me to calm
No.
down? Go out." And then I'm like, "You're fucking crazy." When outside, she's like, what we used to do that to say bullshit in my day. And I'm like, "Okay, I didn't."
God.
And I don't know. And then you told me to calm down. I'm like, "Well, you're fucking freaking out. Like, I don't know what the hell you're doing." Psychopath teacher. Hope you're dead. Today's Greg Way will be about something good and it'll be long. Thank you to our Patreon producers, James Hastings, Casey Andrew, Casey Kern, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today we're brought to you by Monster Hunter Now, Built Rewards and Stash. We'll tell you about that later. For now, let's start with topic of the show. TotS.
We do
No,
that on
that's
this
not.
show,
You can't
too?
just.
I mean, this is my show. I can do whatever I want. All right.
I guess so.
You don't usually do this table thing?
Yeah.
What do we do? You want me to go? You want that back?
Did we not do it?
I like keeping the
I
audience
was like
guessing.
waiting for it.
Yeah, I like keeping the audience guessing. I'll do
like
it for you. All right.
Do it for me.
Okay, cool. Of
Yeah,
course.
please.
Of course, this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each coming to talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. If you want to talk with us, of course, you could be watching live right now, spouting off in the chat, super chatting, whatever. I don't think we figured that part out. I haven't really worried about it. You know what I mean? I'll be looking everywhere for everything. Don't worry about it. And then Patreon and so on and so forth. Of course, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Spotify, Apple, and patreon.com/kindoffunny to pick up that membership that gets you all of our shows ad free. And of course, the ability to listen to me rant and rave in my car usually each and every day. Except for today, where I'll be somewhere in this office ranting and raving. But pretty good.
Yeah.
But where I was ranting and raving this weekend, Timothy,
Boston.
Massachusetts, everybody. You ever heard of it?
Been there once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cold.
That was my favorite part. Oh my God. I mean, there's so much to talk about. Where it's like but like the absurdity of how cold it was.
Okay, I didn't know where you were going.
So if
with
you
this.
didn't know, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, I went to Boston, Massachusetts on Thursday night, and then Friday and Saturday filmed the movie. I am part of a movie. It's an independent production called Spiderman and the Monsters of Manhattan. Kevin, there's a trailer on the doc that you can run whenever you want to. This is a fan film, obviously. It's a whole bunch of different people over there doing it. This kid named Brandon, this will be a big part of it, who's making his dream come true of he wrote this, he's starring in it, and it looks great, and he's got real actors in it, and he's got real things going on, and it's insane.
And you.
And me. Yes. No, I think that's very important. That's very, very important to call out. That I am not an actor.
Oh, this does look really good.
It will be interesting to see how Greg Miller fits into this picture. Because, of course, as you all know, I am not an actor. And I will stress this over and over again to you, ladies, gentlemen, MBs. And Greg, you might say, well, Greg, you've been in a movie before. You were in Laser Team 2. And yes, my Laser Team 2 script, of course, was, hey, show up and you're going to shoot all night for 3 hours in the middle of the night and just ad-lib about your 4th grade teacher. I said, easy. Got it. Oh, the girl from Until Dawn's in it? Awesome. I know her. You know what I mean? Like, that was it. So, like, to actually have to memorize lines and have blocking and beats and get coverage and all these different things that have never happened before, completely absurd experience. Like, I left and it was very much the Snowbike Mike route of once in a lifetime experience. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe I got to do this. But just to jump into where Tim was, I can't describe to you how fucking cold I was on this thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, like, I literally show up for day one and they'll shave my face into this mustache and do all stuff. And I'm not going to talk about my character. I appreciate everybody trying to guess it. I've seen a lot of guesses, both on my Instagram, on the subreddit. I will say I've seen nobody get it yet. Of who I
Commissioner
am.
Gordon. Crazy crossover.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. I came through a portal. But
I didn't realize the mustache was related.
yes. And that was a fun one, too, of like, so as you would imagine here with a fan film, there are, this is good. This is my actual wardrobe here. Kevin's showing. Good job, Kevin. Thank you so much. You know, a lot of moving parts to this. And so basically what happened is why you should support this movie and why you should care about it when it gets out, whenever that is the fact that Brandon and Alex on the project are in fact kind of funny best friends. They're Greg Miller fans from way back. They're actually incredibly young, so probably not that far back. But they're kind of funny fans. They know the content. They know us. And so when they actually got this movie moving, which they've been working on forever. Like you saw the teaser trailer you saw there said 2023. They've been working on this since before COVID. And I'll tell you right now, Brandon on the project is 24.
Oh, wow.
So you're talking about fucking babies. The way I've been describing it to people was like, it's like if before IGN, Tim and Alfredo were like, we're making a real movie. Like we're making a full-blown movie.
Good for that, man.
100%. But it was ridiculous, and it's been gestating for so long. And like, I want to say well over a year I've been talking to them about this. And originally I had a different part, and I was just going to shoot down to LA and do one thing. And I was like, whatever. And then that got scrubbed at the last second because of whatever. I want them to come on the show when they're actually ready to release the movie and talk about it. And then this happened, but this was after you scrub a launch date with Greg once. He's like, okay, this probably is never going to happen. So sure, I'll give you my dates and this, that. And they chose these dates, and it was like months ago. And I'm like, let's see if it ever happens. Let's see if it ever happens. And even the week of, I was telling you guys, like, I didn't have flights yet. I'm like, this probably isn't happening. That's probably a movie. I'm sure something's going on their end that they haven't fixed or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, it happened. So I got to set, and it was immediately like, cool. And they were like, this is the makeup guy. He's going to go shave you. And I was like, oh, right. Like a year ago, I agreed to having a mustache shave for this character.
I did agree to this.
I forgot all about that. And it was, I don't care. Like, I look good with a mustache. But it was one of the main thing that I was like, is like, I didn't prep Ben. I didn't say leaving the house. Like Jen, I know Jen wants me to have the mustache. She was bummed that at Kind of Funny 10 I didn't get a mustache because she likes mustaches so much. She loves a mustache. Right there, it is the one time I'll say it. But it was that idea of like, fuck. I did not prep Ben of like, hey, Daddy's gonna go do this thing and he might look different, you know, blah blah blah. So it was like
Amazing.
I just let the guy shave it, and then like, you know, sent Jen a photo who just laughed hysterically and loved it. And then I was like, how are we gonna tell Ben? She's like, I'll ease him into it. And then we did a FaceTime. And we did a FaceTime and he was totally fine with it. Everything was great. He has not melted down. There's no butt coming. But it was interesting to get back. He's so excited to see me, you know, blah, blah. Jen kept saying, rub Daddy's face. It's so soft. You know what I mean? And he does this thing where he's playing games or just cuddling, and he'll rub his head on my beard like a kitty. And he was doing that last night. But we were literally at lunch or dinner yesterday, and Jen was like, man, you're reacting so well to your daddy having no beard. And he looked at me, and you saw it like click into place. Like he was fine. He has seen it, touched it, known it. But hearing it, and he started to teeter, and it was like, but it's gonna grow back, and da 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 da. And we brought him back. But you saw that moment of like, he's like, should I lose my shit right now, Dad? Should I go fucking crazy right now? I'm like, no, don't do that, It'll be fine. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm all over the place on this thing, and it's how it's gonna go. But like, blessing. Before you came to work here, you were a Kind of Funny fan.
Yeah.
Give me 3 things Greg Miller are known for, and see if you can get
known for Superman, chicken wings, video games.
Also being shirtless.
Oh yeah.
I have a few shirtless scenes in this.
Oh.
Which doesn't sound bad, right? Except when it's fucking Boston in the middle of the goddamn winter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like March.
You needed the extra fuzz.
Can you throw up the ambulance one, Kev? Greg in ambulance? Oh, in ambulance there. Like, this is shooting the film. I'm in an ambulance here because I got beat up. I got, something happened around me. You know what I mean? We're not going to get into it. Maybe I'm just one of the people who got blown up. But I'm here shirtless in this thing, and I'm in the ambulance at least to be protected. So like the wind's whipping outside, but it's still cold as shit out there.
Yeah.
This is, of course, is Brandon there in the Spider-Man suit. If you go back, shout out to him he's basically wearing, a Speedo and then a thin layer of spandex over. He was the real man who was cold as hell the entire time, right? But I'm shirtless in this thing here, and then I'm shirtless inside of the shooting area here, which looks super nice, and it was fine, but it was just a roll door. It was just a garage we were in or whatever. And then on top, so it's just cold in general there. Joey?
Yes.
My fucking nips hurt so bad. Because in the ambulance is the first thing I shot. They shaved me and then put me in the ambulance thing, right? Freezing out. So my nips are just out. You know what I mean?
Oh, they shaved your chest?
No.
Oh.
Just my nips are peeking through my chest here. You want to see?
No.
Good. But it's like I brought my Last of Us Carhartt jacket, which is a very nice jacket, but it's also not the softest jacket. So I was just wearing that over it. So it was like rubbing my nips raw.
Oh my gosh, you're like Kevin from Andy from The Office.
Yeah, exactly. And so then the next day when it was even colder, and I shot that thing and then shot throughout the day, and then the final stuff we shot was night scenes. If you go to Greg Encino 1 or Greg Encino 2, this doesn't show how cold it is, Kev, but it's just outside. This is just an alleyway we're shooting in, and like I'm in a trench coat, but it's incredibly thin. So it was like, just so we do these shoots and then run back to this car and climb it and get in the heat. Outrageous. But the real stage setter for this is I'm talking about a 24-year-old pulling off a movie. I'm talking about all this. I want you all to know, and this I think means so much because obviously, you know, we're lucky that we hire from the community. So you guys have seen Kind of Funny from many different perspectives. But this, as I told Tim and I told Jen when I was there, was so karmically fulfilling. Because I think now we're in the giant studio. We have all this cool stuff. We know what we're doing. It's amazing. To be on this and be like, wow, this is so small and shoestring and bootstrap and everybody doing the damn thing. Like, when I got to the airport, they didn't expect me to get there so early. So they're like, we're going to send a PA. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I got off the plane and I looked at the phone and he's like, all right. Brandon's like, okay, my mom's coming to get you. Oh. You know what I mean? And then traffic was so bad. I had to wait like an hour. I had my Dunkin' Donuts, my Monster Hunter now. I was having a great time. She showed up. She's this little Portuguese woman. She's like apologizing in this accent. And she was awesome when we talked for like 45 minutes on the drive to the Airbnb or whatever. But it was like, I was like, wow, this is got to be, at least some respects, what it was like for Michael Rosenbaum or Aisha Tyler to show up to the fucking sunset apartment we lived in and come upstairs and Pratilla's pissing on the ground and it's like, yes, it's this tiny room. Do you want to sit in it for 2.5 hours? Like, no, but okay. Like, it was like such a wow. Oh man, like this is amazing. And everyone who was in charge of the project, making the project happen, right? So goddamn young. You know what I mean? Again, Brandon's 24. The next day, I got picked up by the art department lead or assistant or whatever, and we get in the car and I'm talking to her. I'm like, so what do you do on the project? She's like, oh, I'm this and I'm that. And I'm doing the art, but I do everything. So I was doing X, Y, Z, blah 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, I was trying to rent the car they're using as well for them, but I'm not old enough to rent a car.
So
and I was like, oh, you're under 25? Yeah. How under 25? I'm 22. Oh, okay.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And it was that thing where, on the outside looking in, they're approaching me and I'm not asking how old anybody is.
Yeah.
Right? You're making a movie. All right. You got this amazing teaser trailer, right? Like it's a real thing or whatever. And they funded it. I forget if it's Kickstarter or whatever, but they did fan funding obviously for it. And so I was like, cool, this is a real thing. They've got the script there. You got the headshots on IMDb. I'm like, you're just real actors. You're a real production. Mm-hmm. And then when I got like boots on the ground and found out, this is going to sound insulting, but again, a bunch of kids running it, how like differently organized it was. Not poorly organized, but differently organized. It was like, oh shit, that means you're looking at me like I have my shit together. You know what I mean? I'm an adult to you. I don't ever feel like an adult, and I'm an adult to you, and that's a weird position to be in, especially for something that I don't do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Where the acting, where it was like everybody, there was a weird, split there of like the guys who brought me in, Brandon, Spider-Man, and the writer, and blah 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 blah. I'm not sure if no, there's a different director, but like. The director knew me too. So it's like they knew that I was kind of funny and they've seen the stuff and da 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 da. And then everybody else would just be like, all right, so you're an actor. I'm like, no. But you got a lot of scenes in this. I'm like, well, yeah. Like, so how did you get the part? Well, they know me. They like me for talking about video games. Like, oh, okay. So I think I set the bar appropriately low with everyone where when I did it, everybody would say, oh man, you're really good. Now, I don't know what the protocol is on set if somebody's dog shit to tell them they're dog shit. You know what I mean? So like,
How
whatever.
many takes did you have to do?
Now, I did not flub any of my lines. Well, actually, there was one with Tombstone I did. But like, I had a lot of scenes. I didn't flub any of my lines. I was off book. I was all set. I was really good about that. You know what I mean? The main thing was, there's so much to talk about. And I don't want it to be that scatterbrained of a story. I want to get back to this in 1 second, right? Because let's jump to where I was talking about of like differently organized, right? Brandon Spider-Man, he's the writer and he's approving shots and doing the million things. So he's all over the place, right? So again, like I'm talking week of didn't have flights. And then it turned out I did have flights, but then it turned out they booked the wrong day. So then we had like blah, 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 blah. So on one of the emails I started getting, okay, you guys are overwhelmed. So like, where am I staying? Where is the set? And some other question. I need like 3 bullet points, which they answered. And I was like, great. So then it's like, 4.5 hour flight out there. We're 30 minutes from landing and I open my email and texts on the plane or whatever. And it's like, I still have no information on should I go to set or should I go? I'm like, I should go. I'm not filming today. I don't have a call sheet. I'm going to go to the Airbnb. And so I sent that message basically like, hey, I'm going to land in 30 minutes. I'm going to go to the Airbnb. Is everybody cool with that? And that's when they were like, oh, well, you're actually getting in a bit earlier than we thought you would. We were going to send a car, blah, 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 blah. We don't have a budget in Uber. And I'm like, I don't care. I can wait. And that's when, I land and then the mom and I'm like, okay, cool. Talk to the mom the whole way. Get there. It's now downpour rain in Boston, right? Cold as well. Airbnb is down this long driveway. Say goodbye to the mom, get out, walk up to the door, get to the door, door's locked. And I open up my stuff and like, yeah, I've never gotten a code for an Airbnb here, right? Like, okay, cool. So then it's like, all right, shoot them the text and shoot them the email while I'm just standing in the rain. And I'm all smiles. I was Snow Like Mike on this trip. This is the entire way I was like, what a cool adventure. What a cool opportunity for me. This is not what I do, right? You know what I mean? So this is just, I knew this was gonna be a good podcast or whatever. So I'm sitting in the rain waiting for anyone to text back with what the number is. Cause of course, I'm at an Airbnb. This is hilarious. Like last day, Jen was like, all right, well, I'll let you check out of your hotel. And I was like, oh, I haven't been able to brief you, Jen, of like, I'm not at a hotel. Like, they got an Airbnb with like 6 rooms. It's a halfway house for everyone involved in this movie. So it's me, another actor, and then the stunt person and this and the AD and like, but then it would change. And then new people were on the couch in the morning. I don't know, whatever. You know, people are just like, whoever had to crash, do whatever. I'm out there. I'm in the rain, just waiting and waiting for them to text me back. And at the end of the end of the driveway, this man comes around with this takeout order, and he comes down. And he goes, "Oh hey," and I go, "Oh hey." And they had told me ahead of time, but it's one of those again. I'm gonna fucking forget everything because this isn't actually reeling. They had told me ahead of time that Zach Ward was in this motion picture. Do you know Zach Ward?
No.
Do you know Zach Ward? I guarantee you know Zach Ward. Zach Ward is best known
Joey.
for being the bully in A Christmas Story.
Oh, okay.
Scott Farkas. He had yellow eyes.
With the raccoon hat.
Exactly, right? It's Zach Ward walking over. He's been in a million other things, of course. He's been in Lost. He's been in Law and Order there. He's been in Resident Evil, like Silicon Valley, brother from Titus. People are calling
and
it out.
Green Gables.
Like,
That's the
he's
one.
been acting forever. He's been in everything. And so he gets halfway down the driveway and I'm like, that's Zach. Okay, cool. And he's like, you one of the actors? I'm like, yeah. He's like, let me buzz you in. Shows me how the door works, blah, blah, blah. And then in like, we're lucky. I mentioned Aisha and Mike and all the people we know and that I call on or whatever. But like I have like a 2-hour conversation, just me and him in the kitchen. And I'm like, there's moments where it is like, that's Farkas. Like you want to talk about being a piece of Americana, right? You know what I mean? Like
my gosh,
you're in a
iconic.
Christmas Story. They run it 24 hours a day on TBS during Christmas time. Like that's a ridiculous thing to think back watching. But like just such a nice guy. But he gave me the entire lay of the land of like, they are young and enthusiastic and they have bitten off more than they can chew, but they're making it happen. Like this is a thing and it's going well. And like, this is great. And you need to do this and blah, blah, blah. But he was like similar, like, you get the thing, but does the car come? But nobody knows, but you figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool. And so, we hung out. I ordered a pizza. He watched Quiet Place. We talked about that. He called me out and he's like, wait though. And he's like, then he starts giving me acting tips. And I'm like, this is fucking weird. I had told him, like, he's like, so you do this? I'm like, absolutely not. I review video games. You know what I mean? And so he's like, we're watching A Quiet Place Part 2. And he's like, all right, but look at what they're doing here. And do you know why they're doing that? And then he's like, hold on. And he asked me these questions. And he's talking about eyes and misdirection. And like, when you're truthful, you go this way or that way. Like, oh my God. This is
Oh man, he was getting you.
I'm like, dude, I'm in like 6 scenes in a Spider-Man fan film. I don't know if I need this, but it's amazing.
Dude, I'm so proud of you though. Like I want to get back to your story,
Please.
but like I love this shit because like it's every once in a while somebody here does something that's like just out of their comfort zone. And I'm always so impressed. Like, Bless, I remember you when you were hosting the D23 panel. Like, I knew you had it. I knew you could do it. But I was like, Bless doesn't read prompters. Like, that's not like a skill that you hone that much here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I knew you could do it, but it was like, oh, this is going to be cool to see you like do something that is close to what you do, but different, And you fucking crushed it. And Greg, like acting in a Spider-Man fan film, it's like, that's not what you do. It's adjacent, you know what I mean? You perform, you understand how this all goes, but like, I'm so proud of you for taking this on, like hearing that these other actors are going to be a part of this and being like, fuck it. Like it's, I don't want to say too much, but it's not the biggest role in the world and I imagine you're not the main character of this movie.
No, I'm not. Yeah, they want the trailer to reveal who I am. So yeah.
But also I feel like it's you're not just there for a second. You
Yeah,
know
no,
what I mean? Like
I'm an integral part of this movie.
You needed
Yeah.
to act in this, like actually act in this. And that I'm so impressed because you took that on and if it was me, I feel like I'd be a lot more open about my feelings of like being nervous about it or like being stressed about it. You're just like, hey, I'm doing this shit. And then every time I checked in with you, you're like, yeah, I'm doing it. It's cool. I'm doing it. I'm like, that's very impressive, man.
Yeah, it was fun to throw myself at it and see what would happen, right? And so, yeah, like back to the halfway house thing, right? Like, Zach was like, well, 1 million people come through this place. So he's like, you should go shower now because it will run out of hot water. I was like, oh, thank you. I went shower and then I played Steam Deck in my room and like, set ended at 9 and there's like an hour and a half later, people rolled in. And like, again, just the pandemonium of it. They were looking for rooms for this one guy. I forget who it was even. But then they threw up in my door and I'm just in there playing Steam Deck. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't care, whatever.
And what a different like scenario from things that we normally
Yeah,
do.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're running into everybody on this project in a way that it's just out of our comfort zone.
And so, yeah, it was so bizarre. So then it was the next morning I woke up and it was like, all right, cool. I checked the call sheet or whatever. And they're like, you get a later start for your stuff. We're going to send a car for you at 11:30. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I did emails and code distribution and yada, yada, yada. And at 11:37, I got an email that was like from the on-set assistant director or whatever. It was just like, are you coming on your own or are we supposed to send a car? And I was like, I got told this morning by Brandon that they were sending a car. And they're like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, I'll Uber. They're like, no, we don't want you to pay for an Uber. They were very sweet. But like, we were really far from set. So like, we're going to send somebody. That's when they send the direct. So I got to set late, but then I got to set late and I got to watch, which was great. Kevin, if you want to show on set 1 and 2, like this is when I first got there and got photos. It was Brandon Mello, Spider-Man, the guy who made the whole thing happen. Oh shit, sorry, not those ones. Click around. Not Greg. Yeah, not, on set 01 and 02. Not Greg and Scene. There should be on set 01 and 02. Yeah, you don't seem like you have the tabs open.
Give me 1 second. I closed them out, so give me.
Yeah, no, I like you to leave everything open because I'll probably jump on them. Anyways, walked in there and that's when it's Zach as Dr. Ock. He's Doc Ock. Hanging out talking to Spider-Man in the lab or whatever, yeah. And so it was cool to watch them actually perform and do the damn thing. But then it was like, all right, cool. Like they finally finished. Like, all right, you go to hair and makeup. All right, cool. And that's where I got shaved. And again, to talk about like, and I'm not throwing shade or anything. I'm so happy to have done this. But again, like I've been on enough sets that aren't necessarily movies, but like in general, right? Of like, go to hair and makeup. Okay, cool. The assistant makeup kid brought me in there and sat me down. He's like, all right, they've been told that I'm shaving you. I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay, great. And he busts out the razor and he walks over. I'm like, do you want me to put on like a smock or anything? And he's like, no, he just shaves my entire, it's all over my clothes, over my jeans. And like, we're also just in a dance studio. Like it was like a very weird thing they had to rent. And it's like, of course, independent movie, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Where I guess the week before the place we were supposed to film in, the roof collapsed. So thank God we weren't filming there and died. So it was like, whatever. Then it was, they found this place, but like hair and makeup was literally you had to walk around the entire building to use it. This is set. You go out of set and then go all the way around to hair and makeup. And again, it's Boston in fucking March. So the wind's whipping through you and killing you and making your nips incredibly hard. And then you'd walk in the other place and walk up and like hair and makeup was in this one dance place, like, the ballerina kind of thing with the wood floor and the big windows. And then next door was like a toddler ballerina thing, at which point somebody had to come out and stop us and be like, you can't have bloody Spider-Man walking through the fucking halls all the time. There's kids over here dancing. They can't be, people covered in blood can't be walking out here, you know what I mean? Just outrageous insanity of all this, like them doing it and making it happen. And then finally get up there, they get the ambulance. It's like the ambulance only has so long, but they're hours behind schedule. So the ambulance people are pissed. So it's running this, if you go back to that shot there, Kev, in the back there, you don't have to zoom in by any stretch of the imagination. There's the man in like the tan hoodie. He wasn't part of this. He wasn't one of the extras. I said, you don't have to zoom in. He just wandered on set and then climbed in the ambulance at one point. And I'm handcuffed to this thing. And he's totally nice. But everyone's like, wait, are you in this scene? He's like, what are you talking about? That's Spider-Man. I'm like, all right, get out of the ambulance. Go over there. What are you doing? Because it's like, give me out of ambulance because that gives you a little shot of like, they had professional extras. They'd put out a whole call. They had a whole bunch of things off casting call for people to come out there and do it. And then, it was, shoot all day long for different things, then shoot this stuff at night that Kevin had shown already, then go home, got home again. Since I'm not, production, I got to leave at 9 or whatever, where they had to wrap everything up and lock everything down. So I got home and just shot the shit with Zach Ward for another hour and a half. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like somehow I showed him the Mini Cooper. I'm like, it made it look like an Ecto One. He's like, my wife wants to get a Mini Cooper. Yeah, I'll put the Mini Cooper over any day. You know what I mean? I'm telling him how great this goddamn thing is, how much fun it was. And then came back for the second day. That was more shirtlessness. Kev, if you want to toss up Greg with Ock. This is me with Zach on set. I'd already been beaten up at this point or whatever. You see, I'm all bruised up doing my thing.
God damn, yeah.
And that's a great outfit for Doc Ock.
It's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that was the thing about it.
Arms look awesome.
Yeah, right. That was the thing that, you hear fan film, you hear, of course, what this means is, they can't make money off this. Otherwise, Marvel and Disney will sue their ass to the ground, right? So you don't know what you're getting into. And I was so blown away by the sets. If you want to toss up, Kevin, shirtless Spidey. Of course, shirtless Spider-Man had to make an appearance. I was happy to take this photo of him. He's going to be in front of like the board that you see there, Doc Ock behind. Again, the amount of
Sorry,
detail
Greg,
they put
I'm not seeing this photo of shirtless Spider.
Is there not one called Shirtless Spidey in there?
Not in the stuff that I downloaded. Give me a second.
No, I'm looking through it. You're right. I see it on my list here, but I don't see it on that thing. Let me toss it back in.
Same with Greg out of ambulance.
Oh, interesting. It must not have sent everything then.
I see.
I think it limits it to like 10.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
That would be a problem
In
for
the
me.
future, you can zip them.
Zip them up. Hold on. I'm gonna give you. I'm trying to look for the ones I haven't seen you use yet, Kev. So if I send more that you already had, I apologize. I didn't mean to do it to you. I think those 3 I haven't seen. I'm gonna do that for you.
This is cool.
Huh?
This is cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I mean, I knew people were out here making like Spider-Man fan projects, and we see this stuff all the time, right? But like, I guess hearing about the ins and outs of it, of like, oh, this is what indie movie production is like, especially when it is like a movie production that is not going to be profitable, right? So like they're paying a lot out of pocket. I have many questions on how you get something like this made, especially if
That's
you're that
why I
young.
really want to bring Brandon on, because again, one of my things I expected, like I took this very seriously. I wasted a lot of Kind of Funny paper printing this entire script. All right, and putting it in a binder, and I did the 3 hole punches, and I put it in there, and I highlighted my lines, and I wrote little notes, and like, maybe I'll make this choice, and maybe I'll do this thing. And when I got there that first night, was talking to Zach. He's like, I'm like, so how's it going? And one of the things he said is like, man, they're behind on everything because it's so hard to make a movie, obviously. And so it's just like, you get out there and you do the damn thing. And so like, I got it. Never did anyone talk to me about my character. They're like, whatever choice it's fine, get out there, go do the goddamn thing and make the lines. Yeah, there's Shirtless Spider-Man, and like again, like
it.
the level of detail they put into that board behind them. Thank you, Kev. Just stay on Shirtless Spider-Man, please, Kevin. The board behind us there, you know what I mean, and all the different Easter eggs and things they were happy to go throw in, and like all over the desk, all over the things. You know, at one point there's one of my props. They gave it to me, and we were like,
pizza.
we got to do something on the back or whatever. And they were like, well, what if we did X, Y, and Z, right? And it was like, oh, that's a cool Easter egg for people to find, right?
I mean, even looking at the trailer, that footage that we saw, there was a many bad guys in it, and this being called Monsters of Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
Like the plural there.
Yeah.
Like I'm very interested in like what the story of this could be, and like it's ambitious to do a fan film. It's ambitious to do a Spider-Man fan film. It's ambitious to do one with many villains in it. So that's
Yeah.
I'm going to be very.
And I feel like with the,
fascinated.
assuming that it's crowdfunded, that like I want to know what that premise was of, hey, this is what we're doing that's unique, that's driving people towards this thing to like want to promote it.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to call out, Kevin, in the new photos for you. Well, you have Out of Ambulance now, right? Where the people gather around. Yeah. So this is like, these are all extras here on the backside of people they had there that were, just there to hang out.
Joey, strap in for what Greg's about to reveal here,
Oh,
because
no.
this is going to change everything.
Can you show the bag? Yeah, you used the one. Yeah. This is the actual bag from Madam Web.
Let's fucking go.
So they had the hookup that they had the Madam Web bag, and then I think it's the Daily Bugle you saw on the board is actually from Madam Web as well. They did that thing, and I think it might be the Daily,
Pepsi can still not open.
Oh,
the Daily
web
Bugle.
connects us all.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly that one. Yeah, Kev. Right, that blackout over my shoulder is something from the Madam Web as well.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
And I want to say, this might be actually this whole thing might be from Madam Web as well. They just had a hookup.
Amazing.
Of like, because again, like
Incredible.
all these Spider-Man people and friends doing it. It takes a village. Kevin, can you throw up the one? I think it's Spidey cleaning. What did I call it? That's not me, Kevin. Not me. Cleaning Spidey. So this is the one after the one. This is everybody getting the fake blood off of Brandon, so he can then go back and do a normal Spider-Man scene, not covered in blood. And you see the dance hall here that we're all in doing this thing or whatever.
So funny.
But yeah, the next day was a lot more shirtless stuff. This is where I earned it. I can't talk to you about what I did in my scene here, all right? But this was the one where everybody was like, afterwards, like, damn, that was awesome. Like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I fucking did. So if you can get through a lot of bad acting to I think like my penultimate scene,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe it'll be fine. You know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean? Maybe it'll all work out in the
Is
end.
there any even thought of a release date for this?
We'll talk about that after I tell you about the Kind of Funny membership. Of course, you should pick up the Kind of Funny membership. We're an 11-person small business, all about live talk shows. You get Kind of Funny Games Daily, you get the Gamescast, you get the Kind of Funny podcast, you get the streams, you get in review, you get screencasts, you get all sorts of shenanigans, all because you support us, and we can't thank you enough for that. If you love what we do, pick up the Kind of Funny membership on patreon.com/kindoffunny, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple and Spotify. However, right now you're not using your membership benefits, which include Greg Way for me each and every day, and ad-free viewing. So here's a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Monster Hunter Now. Whether I'm taking Ben to the playground, soccer practice, or on a hike with Jen, I'm wandering the outdoors more than ever. That's where Monster Hunter Now comes in. It's an authentic Monster Hunter experience on your mobile that lets you find and hunt monsters in the real world using your phone, whether you're out on a walk, commuting, or just need a quick hunting break between your console sessions. And right now, there's no better time to jump in because Monster Hunter Now is running an epic collaboration event with Monster Hunter Wilds, packed with surprises that any Monster Hunter fan won't want to miss. Let's talk about the good stuff. For the first time, a monster from Monster Hunter Wilds has made its way into Monster Hunter Now. Players can also experience the thrill of riding a Sacred from Monster Hunter Wilds with the new layered equipment and so much more. This won't be available once the event ends, so don't miss your chance to get it while you can, and don't you worry about me and that Sacred look. I already unlocked it. But that's not all. By completing event quests, you'll unlock a special gift code that can be redeemed in Monster Hunter Wilds. These rewards will give you an early head start, making sure you're geared up and ready to take on the next big adventure. So if you haven't already, now's the perfect time to download Monster Hunter Now. It's free to play, and trust me, once you start hunting monsters in the real world, you'll be hooked. Go to kindafunny.com/MH now, jump into the event before it's gone, and I'll see you out there. Remember, that's kindafunny.com/MH now. Happy hunting.
This episode's brought to you by Built. Y'all already know I'm a big points and rewards guy, but here's a PSA for anyone who rents. If you haven't heard of Built, you're about to thank me. Earning points on rent is now a reality where you pay your rent through Built. You don't even have to check it with your landlord to start earning points that you can use towards flights, hotel stays, fitness classes, and even your next rent payment. Let me break it down for you. There's no cost to join Built, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, and even the ones you haven't heard of. There are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world you can redeem your Built points toward. Points can also be redeemed towards a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Built members can access. So, if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/kindafunny. That's JOINBILT.com/kindafunny. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/kindafunny to start earning points on your rent payments today. This podcast is brought to you in part by Stash. Saving and investing can feel impossible, but with Stash, it's not just a reality, it's easy. Stash isn't just an investing app. It's a registered investment advisor that combines automated investing with dependable financial strategies to help you reach your goals faster. They'll provide you with personalized advice on what to invest in based on your goals, or if you just want to sit back and watch your money go to work, you can opt into their award-winning expert managed portfolio that picks stocks for you. Stash has helped millions of Americans reach their financial goals and starts at just $3 per month. Don't let your savings sit around. Make it work harder for you. Go to get.stash.com/kindafunny to see how you can receive $25 towards your first stock purchase and to view important disclosures. That's get.stash.com/kindafunny. Paid non-client endorsements, not representative of all clients and not a guarantee. Investment advisory services offered by Stash Investments, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk. Offer is subject to T&Cs.
I want you to tell me, Joey.
Yeah. Oh, what the thing was?
Joey, we were playing Monster Hunter Now, and then Joey's like, I was like, do you know how to do this? She's like, no, and I explained the one thing I haven't figured out. She's like, I'll save it. I'm like, fuck that. We'll finish this right now.
One of my dailies, or maybe not dailies, one of the tasks is like matching types, weapon types, and stuff like that, which I just haven't delved into.
Oh, sure, I'll show you that. That's types. Just building your weapon out. That's easy. No problem. Okay, cool. Is there a release date? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, or even an idea.
They are shooting for the end of this year.
Whoa. Okay,
so will that happen?
No,
you saw in that teaser trailer, it said 2023. So things didn't go according to plan for the teaser trailer.
Well, so the teaser trailer, and sorry for not knowing this information, it said something about like a 5-part epic.
Yeah, I think it's just a movie, but
Gotcha.
but again, we know you've seen how much I knew coming into this. I thought it was just a movie. Maybe they are still doing it out and breaking out. But even when my script is a movie, it's not episodic. It's broken up into 3 acts. So I think it's going to be a full-blown just movie that they're putting out now.
Sick.
Yeah. But yeah, they are well aware of their own limitations, but yeah, they've said they are targeting, hopefully this year, knock on wood. Will it happen? Who knows?
I love it, man. Good for them. Good luck. I think it's very, very cool that they are making this happen and investing in it and being able to pull favors, pull whatever it is, but like getting real actors, getting Greg, like this is They're doing this right.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. They haven't confirmed. They've been quieted to a degree, right? I think since obviously this went so much longer than they wanted to. You can follow them on Instagram, Spidey Monsters. I think that's the best way to keep up as they gear up for this. And there's a like, don't get me wrong, Zach Ward and Greg Miller. What names amongst names? But there's a bigger name that I was like, they told me they were trying to get this person, and I was like, no. And then we got him. Like, okay.
Will Smith.
Ha ha.
The crazy Uncle Ben right there.
Inspired choice.
Exactly. But yeah, this was an awesome experience. So thank you, Kind of Funny best friends, for making it happen. Thank you for holding on the shop while I was gone, everybody.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was good. And now I have a mustache, which I was like totally cool with, and I still am, obviously, because again, I look great with a mustache. And I was like, oh man, we're filming a lot of stuff next week. Like, it was like the GDC stream, sure, but then that other thing and oh no, those 2 afternoons. I was like, huh.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I want this to be me forever, but it's me. It's just how it is. You know what I mean?
Like you said, you look good though.
I do look good.
And even then, like with it growing in, like the rest of it, like
yeah,
I think you're gonna be by next week. You're gonna be in a great place.
I'll be hairier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't complain about it, but it'll be
layers
fun.
to it.
Fun. There are layers to it.
Good. Layers
Tim, what did you get into this weekend? Just Pokemon Go?
Yeah, a lot of Pokemon Go and a lot of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I'm a man stuck in a very specific time, which is my favorite time of life. Just doing things Tim likes.
Yeah.
The bug, man, it got me of like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. The hawk is in the air. You know what I mean? I keep hearing the hawk call. I keep smelling hawks.
Okay,
it's everything I can think about. They do. And I never got the platinum, and I was like, it's such a waste of time for me to get this platinum. Like, I'm gonna need to grind doing some bullshit for way too many hours. So that's what I did a lot of this weekend. I threw on the Nuzlocke all Friday night, just grinding away. You know what I mean? The next day, grinding away in Pokemon. A lot of my life's just grinding.
You're grinding right now.
I'd be grinding. Actually, you know what? I wasn't gonna do this here, but.
He's gonna grind right now.
Kev, I'm gonna send. I'm gonna send assets a very important picture for you to.
Is it Pokemon friend code?
Bring up. It is not my Pokemon friend code. I have 450 friends, which is the max.
Oh wow.
You have 450 friends.
I do, and I gift with them every day.
And see, this is another thing.
450 of them?
We got the cheers now in Monster Hunter
I don't really know
but
what that is.
It gives you like more max health for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But like, I'd rather it be we're sending each other cool stuff, and you can gift. Like, you have to pay for the gifts or whatever. I don't do that crap.
No.
Here we go.
You did it! Oh my
Okay.
gosh!
Wow.
0.1% of people that have played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 have platinumed it, and I, Tim Geddes, am one of those people. Was it worth it? No.
Yeah, it was.
No,
Platinums
it
are always
wasn't.
worth it.
I'm happy that now I can say I did it. Seeing that 0.1%, that does make me feel kind of good. God, that last trophy was just so unnecessary. Literally just do the same thing over and over and over again for, I'm not kidding you, about 15 hours.
Oh.
I spent a lot of time in the last week. I was level 92.
Is it all Portal? You use or Steam Deck or whatever?
A lot of it was Portal. We're watching Beverly Hills. You know what I mean? Housewives are on. I'm just freaking doing the same ass thing over and over and over. But I did it. I did it for all of you. Okay? I did it for The Rock.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Blessing, are your trophies still private?
Actually, I don't know anymore. I think they went public. I privately put them public, but I think recently I privated them again because there was like some embargo.
Currently,
so
they are hidden. Yes, they are hidden.
And so
Coward.
I just hate the back and forth. So I think I might just keep them private. But we'll see.
It is annoying to have to like switch them on and off for specific.
I mean, what are your trophies? Are your trophies public, Greg?
Oh, you know it.
Wow.
You know how I am.
Are you not playing the same games? How are your trophies?
I mean, we are, but when I get in there, like as soon as they're like, you can put them up, I put them up.
Oh, see, I'm not that.
Like, you're allowed to say you're playing Assassin's Creed. That's what I started last night. So I got, but I did the thing where
what was the last game that we were playing where they were like hide your trophies?
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Okay, that's what. That's what it would have been.
But again, like, you know how I am. It was like, not only like there's like it's always Christmas for a review, right? Where it's like, well, we didn't worry about it as much with the new schedule, which I love, where it's just like, we're doing it at 11. Come watch the Gamescast. But it's like, oh man, I get to go read all these reviews and stuff. And then eventually it'll chime in of like, wait. And I usually remote play from my desk, open it up, go in, unhide Monster Hunter Wilds. Then the annoying part about Wilds was go to 3 different PlayStation 5s, sync all the trophies because they're at home. They're on the Station 5 and they're in my desk unit. I'm going to go and get it. But I got them all up there. I'm all about that.
The one of the things that I regret, but I feel like at the end of the day, there's no changing this, is you could, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater started as a PS4 game. There was a PS5 update, so I could have got 2 of the trophies, but I transferred way too early, and shouldn't have done that.
Classic.
Because I could have had 2, but it doesn't fucking matter.
You can just ask me these questions. This is the same thing that happened with you with Prince of Persia.
I know, but
You
then
didn't think about
I
it?
wouldn't have been able to like play on PS5 for the last 5 years.
But think of the satisfaction you would have had if you had done it on PlayStation 4 this weekend. Longer load time, sure. And then you got to turn on your PlayStation 5 and just sync it and get it right there.
But that's the thing is like the longer load times. I feel like
you would have
the
broken it.
But he
15 or
wouldn't have
so
finished
hours
it
would have been
without
like
the portal.
20 hours. My PS5 Pro be loading these fucking levels like it's nothing.
Yeah.
You know? It was crazy though, because my last unlocked trophy was 2021 for this game. But that trophy was actually skill based. And like I was saying this recently, like it is one of my major gamer accomplishments where I'm like the hard get there trophy in Tony Hawk. I'm like, yeah, that's my cred. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'll take no cred for any other game. I'm not ever trying to claim I'm good at anything. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is the exception to that. And it feels good. You know, I'll get a tattoo now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of what?
I don't know. The Pro Skater Returned is the name of the trophy. I want that right across my chest.
I
You
love
know what I
that.
mean?
That's a
Perfect.
choice.
Circling the titty.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
Uh-huh.
a badge.
Of honor.
Okay.
Yeah. That only 0.1% of us can have. I'll see
Interesting.
people in the street. I'll know. I won't be able to see under their shirt, but I'll know. You're one of us.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does this set a precedent for you now having to platinum 3 and 4 when
yeah.
it comes out?
Probably. My gut tells me they're going to make it easier. My gut tells me they're not going to fuck it up this time. We'll see.
Different studio.
Yeah. I think they're going to be like, that was very stupid. That last trophy, we heard Tim.
It's just
We heard him
annoying where
complain
so many
about it.
people don't think about it. They just don't think about their trophies.
Yeah.
You've been banging that drum for a
I
long
have,
time.
and it's worked. A lot of people have reached out and let me consult or say, hey, what I think or what I don't think.
Do you think they've already hit the process of finishing their trophy list? Like, do you think
when's it out again? June?
July.
Yeah, it's
Early
sometime
July.
summer.
No, I mean they're noodling it, but they probably it's not finalized. For
Like,
sure.
if we start a campaign right now, make your platinum reasonable.
Can we be the change?
Can
when
Who's
we
we
making it?
see
What
it?
studio makes it?
Iron Galaxy.
I know them. Actually, yeah, man, Iron Galaxy ain't that bad.
Uh-oh. We're getting
Are
the
you
phone
setting
out.
up
Dave Lang.
Oh,
there
of
you go, Dave
course.
Lang.
Are
Is that
you-
in boys?
You're just going to
still
call him?
work?
Yeah.
I love it. I fucking love
What'd
it.
you say?
Does that in boys still work at all? Iron
No,
Galaxy?
No.
he left.
Gotcha.
He said Tony Hawk, no chance.
He's
It's
like,
not
I
on my
don't
not on my
trust this
watch.
Tony guy.
Since he didn't get the text ahead of time, I'm pulling it away from the mic in case he says something horrible. Hello, Dave Lang. It's Greg Miller. You're live on the Kind of Funny podcast. How are you?
Oh, hello, world. How are we doing?
I'll wait for the chat to catch up. They say they're good. Dave, we were talking about the fact that Tim Geddes just got the platinum trophy in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. And we gave a round of applause, but then he talked about how bad the trophy list and how he says he hopes it's better for 3 and 4. So we were calling to let you know we are happy to consult, not for any monetary gain, just look at your proposed trophy/achievement list and tell you if it's good or bad for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4.
Yeah, we're always open for feedback. I think we can take you up on that.
Okay, thank you. Please send it at your leisure.
All right, we'll do.
All right, I miss you.
All right, later.
Wow.
I'll take that as a win. You know what I mean? And admittedly, like there was only one bad trophy. Rest of them were great. Trophy list, good. Platinum trophy.
Yeah, but like it is
bad.
really the one bad egg can ruin the bunch kind of thing.
And that's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah,
That
when
is
you
very
put
true.
one in there nobody wants to get, then you're like, well, I'm not going to worry about the rest of them.
Exactly.
I'm really proud you did this.
I am
Yeah.
too. It's honestly huge waste of time. Like literally, like last night when it popped after hours of me doing the same thing over and over, and it leveled up and I got the trophy, got the platinum trophy. I just sat there and I was like, cool.
You're free.
A little
I'm free,
underwhelming.
but yeah, it definitely didn't feel like I did anything. You know what I mean? Which, like, God, would I do it again?
You
I
are faced with
would.
the reality of what you did to get that.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
just like,
it took
"Mm,
something from me.
I don't know if it was worth it, but
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I was wanted to make a big deal with Barrett because he didn't think I could do it, but I knew he believed in me at the same time. He just didn't think I believed in me.
Got it.
You know, so I
Yeah.
want to show him. I'm excited. I think he's going to be proud.
But you skated better.
I skated better. I had
did
to do
skate
it.
better.
I had to do it.
Final topic, I think, to bring this all together, right, is the fact that now that I got Joey,
Mm.
you got to hit us up the next Polka Fest you and Goldfarb do where you walk the boardwalks. And
Yeah.
we'll just come in. We'll hunt next to
Yeah.
you.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Well, a whole little squad of people.
Yeah.
When's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next
yeah.
community day?
The community day just happened on Saturday. But the big
believe you
Go
didn't tell
Fest. Go Fest is coming up in July, I want to say.
Okay.
That's when we should go.
What if we
Street's
simplify
gonna be
this then?
popping.
How about we simplify this, all right? Eventually, Nick's gonna have caught them all or whatever, or he'll get tired and not have to
one
worry
of the
about it.
two.
What we just IRL stream.
We got to
We
do it.
just take a Friday. We go down there. We have some bevies. We wander around playing our games.
I'm super
I
down.
love this.
Okay. Bless you. Come and you film.
I got you. I'll do
Or you
it.
play one of the games. You want to play one
No,
of the games?
I'm good. I'm not playing those. But I'll
Fucking
walk
Magic
around.
dork. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
dude, I played a real fucking game, Magic the Gathering.
How was it Comic-Con? You went to Emerald City Comic-Con?
Yeah, went to Emerald City Comic Con. Went to Seattle. Did a bunch of things. Of course, I have family in Seattle, so I visited my sister and her baby. Hung out with friends. My friend Sarah, she's a very well known artist, and so she had a booth at Comic Con where she was selling a bunch of prints, selling her book. She has a book called Squire that's very popular, and people should buy it and check it out.
I know that book.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's her book. So we were just helping out with the booth, selling that. I'm very tired because my flight got hella delayed last night, and so I didn't get in until 1:30 a.m.
Ooh, tough.
Yeah. I texted Greg. I was like, Greg, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to prep KFGD just out of being tired. But it was a fun time. It was a very fun weekend.
Any highlights? Any crazy stories from the con?
Not really. Like not any crazy stories. I did go on a date when I was in Seattle.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. What?
How
How'd
was
that?
it?
How did that originate?
It was so I have a friend that lives in Seattle that like we've been friends for a few years.
Hell yeah.
And it was one of those things where I'm like, man, I've been wanting to ask this person out, but like obviously you live in Seattle, I live in San Francisco, so like I don't know if that's gonna work out.
Mhm.
It was one of those ones where timing was right, like vibes were right. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll ask her out, and it ended up being like, all right, let's do it. We were planning to do it online of like, okay, we'll play Split Fiction or play a video game or something,
Oh.
right? And that'll be the date. But then it lined up with this person's also friends with Belinda, one of the people that was going to Emerald City Comic Con. And so I hit up Belinda and I was like, hold up, like when is Emerald City Comic Con? Like, can we line this up in a way where we can kill like 3 birds in one stone?
Yeah.
And so I ended up
What a charming way to talk about your date. I gotta go out.
But it was the one where I was like, if I can go hang out at Comic Con, hang out with my family, and also go on a date with this girl, like, all right, cool, let's make it happen. We made it happen. It was cool.
Hell yeah.
Was it a good date?
It was a good date. Great
Okay,
date,
cool.
actually.
We're gonna do a
We
second.
love that.
We gotta
I
wait
think
till
so.
PAX East or
Yeah,
PAX,
that's the thing
PAX
is, I'm
Prime.
like, next time I'm in Seattle or next time they're in San Francisco, try
Yeah.
to make it happen. But yeah.
Hell
Look at
yeah.
that.
I love that.
We all did something. I
We
like
did.
that.
Yeah.
You got your platinum. Joey's playing Monster Hunter now. I'm in a movie. He went on a date. God bless.
Yeah. I did some
Bet.
stuff that I can't talk about yet. I wish I could though, because there's a very funny story, but it's embargoed. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So it's work stuff.
Unfortunately. It's life stuff, but I just like I got the like, hey, you're not allowed to talk about this yet. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool.
Margoed life stuff.
I like
what
that.
a life Tim leads.
Just dumb shit that I had to do. Incredibly dumb shit.
Sounds about right. Because that's all we do here on Kinda Funny. Dumb shit. If you like dumb shit, of course, pick up the Kinda Funny membership. $10 to get you all of our shows ad-free. That's more than 20 a week. And of course, your daily dose of me in a 15 to 20-minute podcast I call Greg Way. It's also a video. I don't have a good way to say that. However, no toss our way, no big deal. Like, subscribe, share. Of course, we're live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, podcast services around the globe. You can pick your membership up on patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Spotify, and Apple. No matter where you get the show, please consider supporting it. Remember, of course, we're all about live talk shows, which means you already had 2 today. You got another one coming up with the Nuzlocke going on. Remember, we are officially 1 month to the day for my Chicago show, kindafunny.com/Chicago.
cool.
If you want to come hang out and see a crazy stage show I'm putting together, it'll be a great time in Lisle, Illinois. For now, though, we'll bid you adieu and say until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.